Good evening, everyone. Namaste. Good morning. And we welcome you all to WICCI NRI Council chapters meet today. Uh, I also welcome here all the speakers. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shaifali Garg. Today, starting this evening, this prestigious evening on respect, protect, empower, reclaiming women's dignity. So, yes, as me, with over a decade of experience in a regulatory services, I had developed strong expertise along multiple regulatory domains while leading teams towards meaningful results. Alongside with my regulatory background, I bring extensive leadership experience in human resources. I'm well versed in HR processes and policies and enjoy mentoring, training, and guiding teams through effective development and career growth strategies. Along with my work with nucleus management, I'm also the WICCI NRI Council General Secretary, where I strive to create a positive impact and support young talent. I look forward to connecting with you all and hope to meet everyone once again. So, what is WICCI NRI Council and why we are here? So, WICCI NRI Council was launched on 10 December 2020. The WICCI NRI Council has 5 years served as a vibrant platform connecting Indian women, professionalism, entrepreneurs, and change makers living abroad. The Council fosters collaboration, leadership, and global networking, acting as a strong bridge between India and the world while amplifying women impact globally. About Wiki, Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. WICCI is a national business chamber dedicated to promoting women entrepreneurship and business growth through engagement and government institution, global trade, and networking. Its inclusive platform reach over a million women across 150 plus countries, addressing empowerment in diverse and meaningful ways. All Ladies League, a global sisterhood uniting women through mutual support, and Shakti Bandhan, Women Economic Forum, conferences amplifying women visibility, voice in global networking, G100, a platform for joint action towards gender equality beyond borders, She Economy, an e-commerce platform promoting women-owned business globally, Wiki NRI Council, represents and support an Indian diaspora worldwide, connecting women across the cultures and to exchange ideas, expand opportunities, and amplifying impact. The council emphasizes cross-cultural leadership, collaboration, growth, and empowering women to make a difference globally. I may now like to introduce Ms. Achla Bhupendra, a sustainability and environmental advisor, who is also a president of the chapter, who balances family and social commitments. She is a chairperson of the Sustainable Future Foundation, promoting sustainable development, and vice president of Bharati Bhasha Samvardhan Sansthan, encouraging the use of mother language among expatriate families educated in Scotland, and she had worked across Europe, Central Asia, and the UAE. As National Vice President of WICCI NRI Council, she empowers and connects women to drive meaningful change. Achla ji?
Yes. Thank you so much, Shefali ji, for power packed and inspiring opening for today's event. Warm greeting to all lovely speakers we have today, and no doubt our audience as well. Respect, power, empower, reclaiming women's dignity is more than a theme, it is our shared global commitment. On this International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, we gather to reaffirm our united stand for safety, dignity, and equality for every woman. I'm truly looking forward to listening to our incredible speakers. Harinder Kaur ma'am, she's here with us. Then we have Grover sir. And then we have Dr. Preethi ji, and then Shirin Lakhani ji, our own sisters. And they all are expert in their respective field and will bring deep experience, compassion, and knowledge to this vital conversation. Through the WICCI NRI Council, Sustainable Future Foundation, and SRISHTI Bharat, we are honored to create a platform for such courageous and transformative perspective. Thank you all for being part of this important dialogue. I'm not as a speaker today, but I would like to listen a lot. So now I want to give the stage again back to Shefali ji. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashla ma'am. That was wonderful to address the gathering. And definitely, I should not forget our speakers who really took their time and putting their efforts to address our audience today. I would also not forget to introduce the important personality, although she is not here due to some of the commitments. But yes, it's important to introduce her, Anar Mehta ji. Anar Mehta ji is National President of WICCI NRI Council and founder of SRISHTI Bharat Foundation, an NGO focused on women empowerment, gender equality, financial literacy, and mental health, a global promoter of Indian culture. She is also part of World Hindu Economic Forum. As a reformer and mentor, she inspires women through workshops and talk shows, earning several national and state awards for her work uplifting women and marginalized communities. So I must say, Anarji, please, from wherever you are listening this, we humbly thank you for creating this platform. Thanks a lot. Now I may request the moderator and host of the evening, Kirtida Shahji. So Kirtida Shahji is an allied health professional with over 30 years of experience and a passionate advocate for women's health and well-being. As a board member and community advisor in Western Australia, she champions empowerment, empathy, and inclusion, amplifying the voices of women and vulnerable groups. Over to you, Kritida ji, and thank you for joining us this evening. And on our one request, you agree to host the evening. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Shaifali ji, Achla ji, and BKNRI for hosting such a important topic. It's required for the time at the moment. Women empowerment and domestic violence against women. That is something we all are looking forward to talk about. So before going further, I just wanted to introduce the first speaker for today is Harinder Kaur. Harinder Kaur is CEO of Harman Foundation, a charity supporting families across Australia since 2013. With 32 years in education, she also serves as a senior Sikh um, champion, um, chaplain, providing grief and pastoral care. That is such an incredible work you are doing. Under the under her foundation runs initiatives like 24 by 7 domestic violence helpline, her house refuge, and Hope Multicultural Hub. Her community driven work has gained numerous awards, including the Order of Australian Medal and Australian Sikh Woman of the Year 2024. I'm going to welcome Harinder Kaurji. Please come and take over the stage. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the very kind introduction to this platform. And I'm very thankful to be and thanking to all you ladies who are involved with this sustainable, the programs for women empowerment. It's absolutely this kind of work. Not everyone can do it or everyone believes in, but believing that we are all human, and it's not something we need to talk about reclaiming our rights, because the rights should be with us anyway, as soon as you're born in this on this universe. So um, in my opinion, we are talking about here respect, protect, empower, and reclaiming women's right. It's sometimes very heartbreaking to see that in this day and era we are still talking about the baton which our ancestors, like 200 years ago almost, they started this, talking about women's human rights, and we are still talking about a long way to
That's right.
go, maybe another 20, 30, or 40, who knows, but we are not there as yet as we think. Why we are not there? There could be different opinions about it, but most definitely the platform which you guys are doing it are much appreciated, because we need to keep on talking about. We cannot just sit on our generation and our next generation. We cannot sit on thinking that, oh, well, I'm fine, I'm okay, my husband is okay, my family is okay, I'm earning good money, and at my workplace, I have got all privileges, what I think. But that's not about individual. That's about, we need to inclusively include those who don't have these rights. And that's what it is. That's what you guys are doing, and making worldwide awareness about, and I'm going to take the topic of domestic, family, and sexual violence connected with the human rights. And the reason I'm taking this, because I am part of a foundation which is called Harman Foundation. And we started this foundation in 2013, but we took over. Our main purpose at the time was grief and loss. But as the foundation was evolving, we found that was a lot of barriers and a lot of obstacles for people to really come out and talk about domestic violence. So it became one of the mainstreams because of the community needs. We found that there was a lot of gap in, we are talking about globally, you guys are sitting in different countries, but it doesn't matter which country you are, our problems are same with Australia. So I'm going to take you a journey of very couple of minutes about why it's still happening, in my opinion, or in my experience of last 13 years in this sector, and who can make a difference. So maybe I can come to the conclusion of my presentation before even started, because who can make a difference? Who can make a difference? Of course, we can make a difference. Every individual needs to take a part. And it has, when I was little, next door neighbors are, fighting. And parents used to say, hey, look, our fighting is their everyday's business. And no one was interfering. No one was doing anything, because it was considered as. And, if you go in 18th century, where in England, there was a rule that the husband can actually fix the wife. They don't need to go to the police. If wife is not doing the right thing, then he was allowed to have a stick of his arm length, and the stick was, the thickness was of his thumb size, and he was allowed to keep it. Why? Because he can beat his wife as much as he thinks and he believes that she needs to have this, he was allowed. And then if you know about this, that from 7 p.m. to from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., there was a curfew time. He was not allowed to beat his wife, because not that wife needed rest after being beaten whole day whenever he wanted to, but because the neighbors will be disturbed.
Wow.
Because so it was a rule, it was a law. So we are coming from that, and how far we have come through. It's massive progress, but we need to keep on talking about, because domestic violence, domestic, family, and sexual violence is not about taking someone's, and disturbing people's individual and private lives. It's about understanding that when is enough, when enough is enough. So coming to the CALD community, from our where we are, from South Asian community, we have got a different trends in our families. There are certain things which are acceptable. There are certain things which are not acceptable. And people generally, they get confused for years and years and years when they are going through, because they will not understand where the barriers are, why they have been treated like this, because they may think it's normal. That's how we're supposed to be. And for years and years, they will live in abuse, abused by not just physical abuse, could be financial, could be emotional abuse, and could be coercive control. Hey, look, I'm giving you everything, whatever you need in your life, yelling out on her face and thinking, what else you need? You have got food to eat. I'm giving you money for your children. What else you need? Because he wants her to shush up, zip your mouth, zip your action, don't do anything, don't talk to anyone, don't talk to your neighbors, don't go anywhere without me. But the wife is kind of in coercive control. She thinks it's quite okay to live like this until there's some mishaps happen in families. Then we know, all of us, then we know, oh my goodness, it wasn't unacceptable. So domestic, family and sexual violence is quite complex issue, and it's not different in Australia. We have, one person in 9 days is being killed by their intimate partner, or their, in the family abuse. One murder from 7 to 9 days still happening in their own home. So the reason we are in this sector, because 1 in 4 women are sexually being abused in their lifetime, sometime, or chance to be abused. So a lot of work we need to keep on doing, ladies. And what are the barriers which are not hidden by you guys as well? The barriers could be language, could be visa, could be ignorance of their rights, or just combination of cultural barriers, stigma, what people will say about me, or what my society will treat, my society will treat me, what people will talk about me, or what my parents will go through when I have to go through divorce. So these are really, really a big barriers for someone to come out of their relationship. But now, if they do come out, what kind of, before I jump to saying that how we can actually prevent it, that will be the solution. And so prevention, which we are talking about today, that awareness, making awareness about people, like it's okay to tolerate, but how much you can tolerate. It's not about if someone is, being reasonable and asking you to do reasonable work. We are talking about when it's pinching your skin, when it is actually physically treating you and abusing you. It's you're emotionally, you cannot take anymore. So don't go up to that pathway. Just take action. And prevention is always better than cure. We need to keep on talking about this. So I can keep on talking about, but if someone wants to talk about what authorities' roles are in Australia, lot of actions. Government is very, very pro DV, but because of the complexity, what is happening behind the door, it's so hard to know. Even lady who's going through, a female, may not understand that she's actually being abused. So how come the other people will know? So we need to really empower our new generation, our coming generation, are this generation, that we are not here. We are not here what our ancestors has tolerated. We are simply asking about equal rights, simple equal rights. It's not about we are competing with our male counterparts. They are important part of our family dynamics, and we look and we feel better with them. So it's not about the fight between, bringing that. It's not that relationships are like we don't need male. We need, of course, we need our counterpart. And when we are doing awareness in Harman Foundation, we talk to families. We men are our ambassadors. It's not about just talk between women to women. We need to involve our counterparts, our extended families, because as you know, that our cultural barriers are extended families as well. Our you know, mindset of so many years and years. And the legal and financial and immigration are also impacting on these. They become a lot of barriers. So, guys, congratulations to having this platform, and keep talking about and keep empowering each other. That's my message to everybody, that life is very precious, and take control of yourself. You can do it. You're stronger than what you think. This is the message to those who are listening and thinking, how can I take step ahead? You can take it. You're stronger than what you think about. And so many hands will come towards you. It may be a difficult journey in the beginning, but things can get better. So keep keep taking one step further. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Harinder ji. Like you took us the journey from ancestors to this DNA, and we are still talking about the same topic. And you took us the journey, and I had the goosebumps when I was listening to all your talks. And salute to you. You are doing such a amazing work in the community and emphasizing. You clearly emphasize that the social change is required, and also you highlighted the women, they need to be come out and talk about it and giving the environment to them. And I think the way we can do is we all have to work to work together and help and support each other. Keep your eyes and ears open. Very well said, Harinder ji. It's again, there is a big big clap from me. You are
And
doing
kudos
amazing
to
work.
all of
Thank you so much.
you. Kudos to all of you. Thank you.
Harinderji,
Yeah,
just
thank you.
before
All
we
right, thank you. So
Kirtida, sorry, can I stop you for a minute, Kirtida? Uh, Apologies. But
yeah,
before you proceed, I just want to thank Harinderji for accepting our invite and being a part of us and giving us such ample of information about what exactly women should be doing. Thank you so much, Harinderji. I really appreciate you accepting my invitation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be part of it.
Thank you, Kirtida.
thank you, Shirinji. Thank you for saying few extra words. Makes so proud. Um, I'm going to invite the next speaker. He's the cadet N.K. Grover, an Indian veteran and advocate for women's empowerment. Focuses on educating men, which is very good, about the respect and equality. Throughout his podcast on Man's Talk Town and public speaking, he challenges the gender stereotype and promotes a collaboration between men and women. His message centers on respect, mindset, and equal opportunities. Partner with declares he supports the initiatives for promoting gender sensitization and social challenge. So over to you, Groverji. Thank you for joining us.
First of all, can you all hear me clearly? Just raise your hands up if you
Yes,
can hear me
can
Yes,
hear.
clearly. Excellent. Um, Thank you for the introduction, Kirtida. You've taken me back close to 1987, 88 when I was actually a cadet, and that what you read there is now a commander.
Oh, Commander.
So thank you for
Okay.
making me go back in time and feel young amongst such beautiful people. All right. So I have a very poor sense of humor, and I don't like
Yep.
joking with anyone. I'm a very serious guy. Now, now, I am relating to Harinder ji right from the day when I met her and touched her feet in that event where I was also given an award. And when I came home, I was feeling like, top of the world. The women invited me into their group and gave me an award. I felt very great. And the girl who nominated me for the award actually shares her birthday with me. So I said, we are twins from two different mothers. She's a very very beautiful girl, and she is probably the first one whose video I put on profiling women who have beaten the odds and become great. So I have two hashtags on LinkedIn. One is called Coffee with Groovy. So every woman who wants to have her profile put on the LinkedIn and become famous, I say please have coffee with Groovy. The only thing I ask for is that she pays for the coffee and I write the story. Equality, women also have to pay, right?
exactly.
And I'm giving my time and company to them, so they better buy the coffee for me.
Good
Second,
idea.
second is the hashtag called Stories by Groovy. Now I want to tell you this. Go back in time of your migration. Do you have a story? Shirin has a very strong story, and that is the story that attracted me to Shirin, not that the cleaning lady who sent men to clean my house. When I read her story, I said, "What the hell? Why isn't she getting the awards?" So I'm taking the pride to tell you all that I nominated her for the Rotary Award, and she was not just a finalist; she was a grand winner in her category. And I felt so I felt so much pride in myself that the person I nominated won the award. Last year, before that, somebody had nominated me, a woman had nominated me for this award. Now, this woman happens to be Joe Cooper, who has gone above and beyond to fight justice for women by running a charity or running an organization called the Good Warrior, which is the bystander culture. She was thrown out of a running car with her ex partner when she said, "I'm not getting married to you." She was thrown on the Woolies parking. She nearly died. She was lying there on the floor, bleeding with clothes torn, nobody coming to her rescue. So she started the bystander culture. If you see something going wrong, you bloody well go and help. And Australia is the best place to do it because police is not going to put you inside. In India, nobody touches a body lying on the floor. They just drive past. So that's another factor. We have to come together as a team. One and one, everybody says one and one is two. I say no, one and one is 11. If there are two people who come together, they form a team of 11. Imagine if 10 of us come together, what will be the team like, right? How many millions of people you will touch in your lives, because I have 30,500 plus active LinkedIn contacts. If the story goes to them, surely 10 of them will share to hundreds. So we need to come together and educate people. So I was got picked up by a lady who's a retired wing commander or squad leader from the Indian Air Force, and she said, "Sir, I'm running a talk called podcast called Men's Talk Town." I said, "What is it all about?" She said, "I want men to talk about women. I want men to tell men what they think about women. And you are an ideal candidate." So I featured in one of those and told her my story. And my story is very simple. Why do I do this work, first of all? Most important. If we are all in it together, as they say, what is your why? Can anybody say, "I'm in this because I'm going to make money"? And any one of you raise hands and say, "I'm in this because I'm making money"? No, none of us are making money, right? Harindaji is in this because she's passionate about what she's doing. She has had exposure and experience which she's bringing. Shirin is in this because I know her story a little bit. She hasn't told me everything. It'll take time to give her some coffees before she warms up to me and tells me her story. Maybe I'll put a little bit of whiskey in her coffee so she tells me the truth. Achla ji, I just met you. Such a great personality, and I'm forced to say, is that Diya Mishra, that actress, you're related to you or something? You look like her. You know? Diya Mishra ke jaise lagte hain aap.
No, no, no. I'm really sorry, but no.
Some resemblance.
Yeah.
Kirtida, thank you very much. What a beautiful introduction. The ship behind you
Thank you.
is probably like Ines Tarangini, which I sailed around the world as a first commissioning crew of that ship, Ines Tarangini, similar to that, exactly.
Right.
And Preethi
Hmm.
ji, well, I know Malayalam kunju kunju, rest you can talk to my wife. She knows the language, she knows about 8 languages. So that's a very powerful woman who can understand so much of the community of India. So I'm proud to be married to a woman who drives to the office, becomes a deputy director of, of the hospital when she arrives there. And when she finishes her work and she's driving back, by the time she drives back, she's promoted and she's the director of the house. So I report to my director in the morning for work. In the evening, I come back and report to the house director. So I take pride in that. Then when I come home from a sales manager or a sales consultant, I become the Ramu of the house. तो मेरे घर में लक्ष्मी नहीं है, मेरे घर में रामू है और मेरी डायरेक्टर है. So she can tell me do this, do this, do this. I keep doing it. What is wrong in it? We are partners. We are partners in crime. We are partners in love. We share responsibility. I come from a traditional background where my father didn't even pick up a glass of water. And what I learned from my father's behavior was, I'm never doing this, dad. I'm not doing this to my wife. I'm not doing this to my sister. They have equal right. Mom does this for you. Mom does for that. Okay, mom hasn't worked, but she's got 4 degrees. My mother has 4 degrees. She never worked. In the after part of her life, she started doing community service. And when she started doing community service, lo and behold, the local MLA lands up at her, madam, please fight elections for us. She said, go away from here. I'm doing it for the love of the community. So every one of us, you all are philanthropists in their own right. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all these people are not philanthropists. They are money givers. But people who are sitting here at 10 o'clock at night, away from their families, knowing very well tomorrow some of them have got work, those are the real philanthropists because they give their time for free for other people. That is philanthropy. That is philanthropy because you decide to give your time for free to someone you don't even know or somebody you know. Somebody you know, you have an expectation. Arey dost hai, if I do this for him, he will do this for me. No. Philanthropy is walking into a lift, seeing a person wet, and giving them your jacket, and not expecting it back, or giving them your brolly, as we call it, the umbrella, and saying, "Thank you very much. Enjoy. Take this, take this umbrella. Remember, Aussies are great. They were from New Zealand. I did that to a couple, and they were shocked to bits. Right? I didn't know them. I didn't take their number. I didn't give them my number. I said, all you do is pass this favor to somebody. Let's do that. You do 10 favors to 10 people, they will go out and do it for hundreds. So have that philanthropy in your heart, and we'll always succeed as a team. Number one. Number two, I'm going to be the devil's advocate to Harinder ji because I touched her feet and say, Ashirwad dijiye, but I'm going to have some counterpoints for Harinder ji because I'm going to refer to somewhat what she said and I've noted it down. So every migrant has a story. Please feel free to tell your story and get the stories of people. Go on LinkedIn, write their stories for everybody. Make them famous. You don't want to become famous. You don't want to do it to become famous. You do it to make them famous. That's philanthropy, and I do that. I run articles on women who have succeeded from. They've come from backgrounds which you couldn't even imagine, right? And they're today rich and famous, right? Quickly, I know she's looking at time. Achalaji is looking at my time, but I've got my clock here. And I feel humbled that you have invited me in such august audience. When I look at your achievements, I I feel, oh wow, I've done nothing in my life. I'm 24 years at heart. I got a long way to go to become 100 years at heart. So I'm going to continue my efforts, whether I find success or no. But my real age is the opposite age of my father. My father is 85, and he had a pacemaker installed. To make him happy, I said, Dad, you and I are same age, except that it's opposite. You are 85, I am 58, but both we are both young at heart. So keep doing, don't stop, and don't wait for accolades and rewards. Don't put Harinder ji as an example कि मुझे भी Australian medal मिलेगा if I keep doing that. Don't think about it. Please be selfless. Devote your life to selfless love of other people. Don't expect anything in return. जो कूपर को मैंने बोला, I do everything for her. जो I need a person to stand by because I'm going to go into some kind of what's it called workers' compensation. I got hurt. I need somebody to stand by when I read my statement as support. She said, "मैं नहीं करती. I am busy. I'm not. I don't have time. I'm fighting the parliament. I'm finding ministers." I didn't feel bad. I knew this woman is devoting her time to something better. And what she wrote me was, "Mate, you can do it yourself. You are, you are stronger than you think." That's what she told me. I love her for that. Whenever I'm with her, I love her for that because her husband understands that I actually have respect for her in my heart. And if she tells me, Nishi, 2 baje utke, you have to go there, I will go and do it for her. Anything she says, selflessly. That is what I would like you to do. If Shirin tells me, Nishi, see you at the coffee shop at so and so time, Gloria Jeans, I won't go because I know she is going to be very busy and doing good stuff. Coffee can be later. So I didn't go and meet her for coffee. She's very annoyed, but I can't help it. She was, I let her do better things like organize this show. Now, apart from everything else, I'll feel privileged about one more thing, and that is being the only man amongst many women in many groups. I feel pride that I'm one of the very few people in the Clare's Law as a partner to Clare's Law. Most are women because they have experienced domestic violence. Now, I'm not there in that saying that I've experienced domestic violence and I'm in there. But when I walked into my house with that award, flagging, beating my chest, Simi, I got this award, national award. My wife said, कितने पैसे दिए थे? How much money did you spend to get that award? I was deflated. I had a bloody big nail into the balloon, which I was feeling like, on the top of the world. I said, what do you mean? Paise diye the? Yeah, you must have paid some money. That's why they gave you the award. So, oh, bloody hell, no way. And then she said, charity begins at home. You go about beating your chest about women empowerment and national award winning. Why don't you empower me first? I said, Madam, if I empower you anymore, I'll be sleeping in the bloody garage. अभी तो ऑलरेडी घर का नाम हूँ इससे ज़्यादा क्या एम्पायर करूँगा Sorry, I'm digressing. So, I feel privileged to be here. And I volunteered to Shirin. I want to be part of this story. Not because I'm going to become rich and famous, but because I like to contribute and put in my effort where it deserves my time. If somebody is there in this group who's thinking, I'm going to make money from this, I'm not going to be part of that group. If you're doing justice to your work, that's your biggest reward. You sleep very well at night, all of you, because you do such great work, and I'm proud of you all. Same thing for Clare's Law people. In the Clare's Law, there are people who are totally voluntary. They put in their time, they put in effort. There are some people out there, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm there because I know I can contribute. And what is your why? Simon Sinek says the biggest thing are 3 things in life: what, how, and why. Can one of us say which is the biggest one out of this? What, how, and why? Which one
Why,
would you
I
rate?
think.
You're right, ma'am. Who said that? Who said that? Why? Okay, you have a prize. Please send me your address. I'll post it out to you. Thank you for answering. Honestly, I will post out a prize for you because I am going
Okay.
to do this many more times, make it more attractive for everybody to have their eyes and ears open to what I'm going to say because you don't know when the next question is coming. So please listen carefully. Why? If you know your why, and 90% of the people die in this world without knowing their why did they come to this earth? Why did they come to this planet? It's very easy to start saying those words, but you have to follow through your actions. If you follow through your actions, the world is your oyster. People will actually understand and follow you, and you will increase your fan following by people who are involved in it. Look at the beautiful work Balbir Singh and his wife Lucky Singh are doing. My wife volunteered to go there. वो मुझे भी हर महीने खदेड़ के वहाँ ले जाती हैं. वहाँ पे खड़े होते हैं, राशन देते हैं लोगों को, खाना खिलाते हैं. Sorry Preethi ji, we feed homeless children and homeless people in the center of Sydney in Martin Place. Every month, I think third of the month, it's called Guru Nanak Free Kitchenette. They don't get money out of that. They actually pay their own money to do that, right? Um, Very simple. Harinder ji said, "Oh, how we make people feel." Well, yes. Maya Angelou, the biggest of all the women stalwarts in our field, said, "It's not about what you say. It's not about anybody. It's not about to say. It's not about how you say it. It's about how you make somebody feel. If today I touched your hearts and how I made you feel, I'm very confident some of you will connect with me on LinkedIn. Some of you will be saying Nishika number do baat karni hai usse. What a pleasure. And then I'll put a hashtag on your profile and say coffee with Guruvi whenever you're ready. Only problem is you have to pay for your coffee. Okay, Harinder ji said about किसी को भी करना है तो हमें करना है. You know, I talk it in English and it is, if it's got to be, it's got to be me. वो कहते हैं ना पंजाबी में, जेड़ा बोले ओ यो बुआ खोले. You use it to the reverse, that if it's got to be someone, it's got to be me. Don't wait. Bash on regardless. In the Navy, in the gunnery section, we say bash on regardless. You miss a target, you again train your gun and send the next target. You aim for the stars, you will reach the moon. Just keep going. You will get there. And what is this nonsense about women empowerment? I don't believe this. On the International Women Day, I wrote, this is all nonsense. There shouldn't be an International Women Day. One day, it should be, all days should be International Women Day. Every single day should be International Women Day. Why do we celebrate one day as International Women Day? That means that is the credit we give our bloody women. 365 days mein unko, we are giving him one day as International Women Day. Why? Why can't be every day be our International Women Day? Women are the only people in the world who can sustain that dangerous force of pain of labor. Men can't sustain that. A man is going to die on a labor table if he gives birth to a child. And yet that same woman brings money into the house today. She probably earns more than that man, right? And the men who beat their women are these men who are probably earning less than their wives. Why? Because somebody centuries ago said men are superior to women. Sorry, mate. Men are not superior to women at all. And that's my men's talk. Get out of your bloody male chauvinist pigism. You are not superior to them. Women are definitely superior to men. Do you know there's a German research about fatigue? A woman who runs across country will take 1 hour to recover. A man who runs across country might take 10 hours to recover. Where is a man superior to a woman? Tell me. Just because वो मोटा ताजा तगड़ा हो गया है, and he's a big man, doesn't mean he's superior, right? This is the problem with men. We think we are superior. Just the way I talked about my hair. We think we are very sexy. We're not. Women are better on every aspect. They are more organized. They can look after the house. They can clean the house. They can send children to school. They can feed the kids. They breastfeed the children. They bring them up into this world. They give life into this earth. Men don't give life. They merely loan their liquid to produce a baby. Women are the ones who are creating life on this planet, and they deserve a better place in this world because they are goddesses. Men are not gods. Am I taking too much time? But I'm going to quickly say coincidence that we talked about, Harinder Kaur ji talked about somebody about in Britain hitting the women. Coincidence, Harinder ji. Thank God, Claire Wood died in Britain because somebody was beating her. Her ex-partner was beating her. And her father started a petition that turned into Claire's law in Britain. And guess what happened next? It went to Canada. And guess what happened next? The only other country it went to was our tiny neighbor, New Zealand, who recognized this. That's why I'm a proud follower of Jacinta Ardern. I follow her on LinkedIn.
Mm.
I comment on her posts. Today, ex-Prime Minister of New Zealand, she works for free for the New Zealand government. She takes $1 salary. You find a woman like that and show me. You find a woman like that, show me. Why shouldn't men take pride in following such women? Why shouldn't take men pride in in taking inspiration for these women and applying it to their household? Charity starts at home. That's where you got to start it. You need to educate that very child. You know, the sad part is the woman inside the house spends a lifetime trying to change her husband. Never happens. She never wins. The same woman, if she had done it to her son and changed him, we wouldn't have this problem of husband wives. अपने बच्चे को पहले ठीक
So
करो,
true. So true.
then your husband does not need to be sorted, because he's the son of your mother-in-law. Don't try to change him. First, you try to change your own bloody son, right?
Mm.
Everything will be sorted in this world. That's where the problem lies. A boy sees his mother being beaten, talked rudely. Father comes from work, mother sits down, mother will serve him water, tea, सब कुछ वहाँ पैरों में आ जाएगा. तो ऐसे ही होगा. You bring that man, treat him like a woman in the house. Everything will come into play. Let him bloody make tea for his wife. Let him take water for his wife. Let him bloody do the ironing. Let him do the washing. Let him do the cooking. Then पता चलेगा, नानी याद आ जाएगी. जब ये सब काम करना पड़ता है. Only women can do it. Men can't do it. Very few men can do it, of course. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be too partial to some of your beautiful husbands. And please, don't blame me. And tomorrow I'll have 5 different husbands blaming me. तुमने मेरी wife को क्या पति पढ़ा दी? You know, what did you teach my wife in that seminar that now she's expecting that I will serve tea, I'll do this, I'll do that. So I'm talking about practical example. When I came to Australia, I said to my wife, we have no more servants. Navy, we had 3 servants full time. If no more servants, you and me are both servants. But you are my queen, and you are not the bai. But I am your servant because I am your Rambo. So treat me like it. But जब मैं काम खत्म कर दूं, then treat me like husband also, please. प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि जब बीवी के साथ अब ये बोल दो ना, तो फिर वो सारा टाइम ही रामू बन जाते हो. वो हस्बैंड वाला खत्म ही हो जाता है उसके बाद. See, even Preethi is understanding what she has to do to her husband now next.
I get the gist of it.
Just so, exactly. And if you need more, call me. I'll give you my number. Coincidence,
I think so, doctor, that audience will be very happy to hear this. When you asked the question, I was just thinking around if you can share some questions to us, we can post on the live chat for audience also to answer. That will be really great.
Fantastic. Now, I've talked about all this, and that's my devil's advocate. I always play devil's advocate. Harinder ji said very proudly, we have made massive progress. Harinder ji, with due regards, Paripona, we have not made any progress. We are far away from progress. We are giving 1 day of 365 days to women, International Women Day. Sorry, that's not progress. We're talking about women empowerment. That's not progress. In fact, progress will be that we don't have this seminar. Men are having this seminar, calling and saying, men empowerment. वो दिन देखना चाहिए. We want to live to see that day when men come under the table, under the banner. ऊंट को बोलते हैं ना, ऊंट आया पहाड़ के नीचे. We want the men like camel under the mountain. We want to put this male chauvinist pigs in the world under the mountain. Right? Next point. Harinder ji, just adding to your figures very quickly. I have them here. I always talk about it. 1 in 9 days, you said, one dies, right? And that is women. 2021-22 statistics. Now this is 4 years ago. I have them here. ABS statistics say 1 in 4 women over the age of 15 are assaulted. 1 in 6 of those sexual, physical, mental, coercive, blah, blah, blah. All those 6 things ticket. 1 in 4 women over the age of 15 suffer domestic violence of any of those 6 kinds. You know it all. And you know what are the men's figures? I wish they were better. 1 in 8 men, which is half the number of women, are forced to suffer domestic violence at the hands of their partners. That is a true figure from ABS 2021. And guess what? It is even worse today. So we haven't progressed. We are going downhill. Today, 1 in 3 women, as per 2025 figure, are suffering from domestic violence. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women out of here. You can imagine how many of you are suffering from domestic violence. You may not realize it. It's
Wow,
called
wow,
control.
Groverji, it's unbelievable to hear something from a man.
It
You
is
are
true.
incredible. It is
This
it
is
is incredible to hear from a man about this all woman issues which we are talking with the women all the time. But I never heard anything from a man that they understand these issues. And I have a like a clap for you because you understand this. And for if you create like 50 men in the whole entire world, and if they keep tapping to others, we can resolve this issue very quickly. And some of the issues you some of the things you are saying, you are encouraging women to speak up, encouraging them to talk about their stories and giving them the comfortable atmosphere. And that is incredible. I think you deserve a big round of applause. I must say that I never heard any man talk about this sensible from any for women.
okay.
Incredible,
So
incredible. Thank you so much.
on that note, I will then steal another 30 seconds because you gave me so much credit. Give me some 30 seconds more also, please. Right?
Yeah,
That
sure.
30-second more say that. So this is one in four and 1 in 8 in 21. Now today it is 1 in 3. 1 in 3 women are suffering from domestic violence. Please look around your family. If you see 3 women, one of them is suffering domestic violence. Talk to them. Ask them, "Are you okay?" Ask that question. You know that question, "Are you okay?" If you are a little bit of an observant person, you will pick up on that thread. I have asked Shirin, "Are you okay?" And she's going to have coffee with me one day. Now you can understand. Shirin, are you okay?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
So overall victimization, Harinderji, overall victimization, 20% was that time. Now it is 33.5% today, above 15. Overall victimization. Intimate partner violence was already 27% at that time, 4 years ago, and it was 12% amongst men, which is interesting. This is intimate partner victimization. Sexual violence, 1 in 5 at that time, 1 in 16 for men, understandable. Emotional violence, 1 in 6 women, and 1 in 13 men, understandable because women generally tend to be more emotional. Or maybe I have some genes from my mother where I'm also emotional. Maybe I have some women genes in me, that's why I feel for the women. I don't know. Maybe something wrong with me. But I definitely am a devil's advocate when it comes to. Before I go, I want to clap for Joe Cooper. She brought He changed the law for putting animals into strata properties. 8.5 years of struggle. She doesn't have any money. All money gone in fighting court cases. She didn't give up. Today, in Australia, your animal can accompany you into a property. Right? Joe Cooper is the person who did it single handedly. Nobody supported her. Number two, she single handedly got something like 28,000 signatures for New South Wales petitions for bringing Clare's Law. Who introduced her to Clare's Law? I have to take credit. I introduced her to Clare's Law knowing she can do it. And today she took it by both hands and ran with it. I supported her, and I'm proud to say the day it was heard in the parliament whether it will be accepted or no, I was sitting on her left I was sitting on her right side. Even though I'm not her right hand man, which is her husband, I was sitting on her right hand side. And the ministers were coming and talking to her personally. We got out, and the minister who headed this talked to us. We have got videos and photos with that minister that day. And I presented her award, which Shirin also got. I nominated her for similar award in her category. She also won the grand award. I presented her the award in the Parliament House. What a memory! What a pride memory I have. I haven't written an article about it, but she has written it. She has tagged me. Follow me on LinkedIn, and you'll see all these type of articles. One of the articles I've written is about help, which says you help people. The real help is when you help people without expectation of return. If I give you $100 and I'm expecting it back, that's not help. That's merely being a friend, right? $100 de diya, $1,000 de diya, right? But you're expecting it back, or you're expecting a favor. Don't do that. Help people without expectation of favors. That's help, right? Last point. So she got through the New South Wales petition. You'll be proud to know that we have 120,000 signatures plus on the federal petition. Because New South Wales law is different to every state law. The only state which has a couple of laws is South Australia has implemented Clare's law as part of the Clare's law. Okay, we talk about Clare's law. Do you understand what is Clare's law? Can anybody define what is Clare's law? Very quickly, it is the right to ask and the right to reveal, which means I have the right to ask if somebody is getting married to Achalaji, saying Achalaji ka husband, future husband is so and so, is he having domestic violence history, right? Achalaji can ask the police. The police cannot say no. They will tell her. The right to tell is another beautiful right. The police can come up and say, Mrs. Atla, is this person your husband? Yes, I just got married. Please, we are supposed to warn you. It's our duty of care to tell you. In the year 1962, this man assaulted a woman. So he has a history of domestic violence. Please be careful. What we are doing by that is we are proactively saving lives. Clare's law is exactly just that. And bloody every parliamentarian has a problem in accepting that law in Australia. You know why? Because they don't have a vote bank for that. Only women are fighting. Can You Hear Me is the name of the campaign. Spotify singer song is called Can You Hear Me. If Jo was here, I would ask her to sing. But you can follow Jo on Spotify, listen to her songs. She's using her voice to bring peace to the world. That's how I got in contact with her. I picked up the phone. Hello, Jo Cooper. My name is Commander Grover. She said, Are you the same person I connected on LinkedIn just 10 minutes ago? I said, Exactly right. Can we have coffee? I have the photograph of that coffee, put it on LinkedIn, posted her article on that. Right? Last point. Relativity. Last point. No more from me. Last point. Relativity. What?
Ekdam last, right?
एकदम लास्ट मैम मैं एक शब्द नहीं बोलूंगा इसके बाद जब तक आप परमिशन नहीं दोगे आई एम अ वेरी ओबीडियंट सोल्जर राइट आई ओबे ऑल women राइट माय मदर माय सिस्टर माय ब्रदर डॉटर वाइफ गर्लफ्रेंड तो है नहीं ठीक है तो रिलेटिविटी इज unless one of us is impacted by domestic violence, we don't even know how it feels to be treated by a partner who is acting against us. So, how do I feel about domestic violence? Where is this coming from? Why is it I'm passionate about domestic violence? My answer is very simple. My youngest Masi's, my mother's youngest sister, Preethi ji, my mother's youngest sister gave birth to a child without her husband because he became very anti, wanted to kill my thing. My nana, my grandfather brought the girl back into the house. He never got married. She lived with us. She lived with my mamaji, which is my mother's brother, all her life. She passed away courtesy a survivor of breast cancer for 20 years. It was COVID. I couldn't go and see her. Couldn't pay my last respect. But she brought me up like her own son. So she was my Didi, technically. I would call her Papu Didi. That was her pet name. Show me one politician who has a domestic violence done against him or his daughter or his wife. They will fight for us. Show me one person who is not impacted by domestic violence and in this group. Somewhere deep in the heart, if we are in this group, we know someone close to us has been impacted by domestic violence. My sister, my cousin sister, my Papu Didi's daughter, 15 years was beaten by an army officer serving in the Indian army. He is retired as a colonel. Had it not been for this domestic violence, he would be a general today. We brought him down. When my cousin was hit,
You have
I was in
Groverji,
Australia.
you have such a amazing knowledge, and also you gather so many people's experience, and the wealth of knowledge you have, it's really really appreciable, really. And the way you speak, I think if we can have a seminar once more, I'm just going to request to Ashlaji if we can have a seminar once more from Groverji just gathering and also addressing the men's in the community. I think that will be a big impact on the community, and I think that will be the eye opener for all of them. I once again thank
I
you
don't
very
do
much for
anything.
joining us today.
I don't do anything for free. Remember, if you want to
Yes,
have me
yes,
again, you have to pay for my coffee.
of
Uh,
course, definitely. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, actually, what we can do with the Grover sir, we can schedule one seminar in December, and that definitely will help our audience because we want him to share his knowledge, which will
Mm,
benefit our audience and to ourselves as well. So that's
yes,
thank
absolutely,
you, Grover sir.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
Thank
so
you
much,
once
joining
again.
so
everybody.
Big
fast.
clap to you. Big clap.
All of us, to all of us, to all of us.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
I,
Thank
I'll be
you.
going now.
Okay. All right. No
Yeah.
problem.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. I'll catch
uh,
up with them.
to continue our program, I'm going to go with our next speaker. It's Dr. Preethi Jayabalan. Preethi Jayabalan is the director of regenerating anesthetics, hair restoration, and dry eye services, Eagle Anesthetic and Surgery, Singapore. Trained in Singapore and the UK. Um, she specialized in facial regeneration and dry eye management, list and fellow of the Royal College Ophthalmologist, London. She blends medical with compassionate um, care. She also leads outreach programs offering free eye screenings and supports wellness initiatives in Singapore and India. Wow, Preethi you have such a incredible introduction, and I salute you that in such a young age you have achieved so much. All to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the very kind introduction. And I'm truly, really very honored to be sitting amid a crowd of people who do great stuff. I feel like a small little dot here. I'm so honored and humbled to be seeing the great work that Mr. Grover and Mrs. Harinder Kaur has been sharing, and all that WICCI and NRI Council has also been doing over the years and over decades, actually, to bring up a good meaning to um, all that we are going to talk and have been talking about today. Can I please check if my slides are visible? Yeah, once I've opened my slides,
Yes, it is.
the
Yep,
screen is
they're
gone.
visible.
So okay, all right. I am Preethi. I work in a private setting in Singapore. I specialize in eye and medical aesthetics. So it's truly a great timing, and I really feel very humbled to be sitting here. And what I'll be doing today is that I will be sharing a little bit of what it means from a medical person's perspective of women's empowerment when it comes to safety, trauma, and how what we do from a medical perspective in a global community on what we do to reclaim a women's dignity in the global arena. Okay, rightly, Mr. Grover has brought up that the statistics that we have in our hand from 2025, 1 in 3 women are affected globally, be it in the form of physical or emotional or even sexual violences in some part of the world. And where does the healthcare come into perspective is that people and especially women see healthcare space as their number one safe space. Whenever they want to come up or talk about something, they always see this healthcare, be it doctors or other healthcare professionals, as their first safe space. And even statistics shows us that nearly more than 100 million visits are made by people with violences, women with violences to the healthcare. And most of the times, these are the women who don't come to us saying that, doctor, I'm here, or a nurse, I'm here because I don't feel unsafe. But they present to us in various different formats, in various different aspects. And only at the end of everything put together, which I'll be discussing in the subsequent slides, that we come to a conclusion and we are able to find out what has been happening to these women and what are the supports that we are able to provide. I'll go through that in a short bit. And again, yeah, as I was mentioning, most of them come with symptoms that could be unexplained. I'm sorry about the layout of my slides. I'm not sure why that is so. Anyway, so persistent headaches, unexplained pains that are not curable by any amount of medication they take, not able to sleep, having anxiety, palpitations. These are most of the symptoms, of the most common symptoms that these women present to us with. And most of the times, there is always an underlying amount of anxiety, self blame, and somatization that usually does not get treated by any amount of medication that we do. And it is towards the end of the consultation, or once they get more comfortable with the doctor or the healthcare provider, that is when they come up and start telling the story of what happened. Yeah, so usually it's mainly the physiological consequences or these symptoms or signs that happen before the actual story emerges, most of the times in the form of they will just give a gentle hand holding to the healthcare provider, or even tears start shedding from their eyes. These are subtle cues or clues that we have all, as healthcare providers, been trained to detect and to highlight when we deal with situations like these. And again, most of the women, or any person for that matter, who undergoes a trauma, be it psychological, emotional, or whatever aspect, it is not just the emotions and the psychology that comes with it. It does leave a biological footprint that can, most of the times, be temporary, and very rarely and unfortunately, it can set permanent changes to our neurological and our whole body's ecosystem as well. There are areas in our brain called amygdala which are responsible for emotions, and there are hippocampal areas that are responsible for memory. These are the subcortical levels that gives us emotions, gives us values, gives us feelings like anxiety, fear, and all that. So it doesn't just affect our emotions. There are studies and reports showing that even when you do a repeated CT scan or an MRI of a person who is undergoing these kind of stresses, these areas of the brain actually shows physical changes, and it affects a person's emotions, their judgment, and their memory forming capacity, and their ability to handle stress and all that. And again, when a person is stressed with these kind of situations repeatedly, the body's stress hormones levels increase as well. Cortisol is one such hormone that can result in a chronic inflammation that is very, very hard to get rid of, and this can again result in a person's low immunity, making them fall sick repeatedly as well. And not just that, it can also result in problems with multiple different organs, resulting in multiple different things, like starting from hypertension, or problems with digestion, chronic pain in multiple parts of the body that again doesn't respond, and even autoimmune conditions could get triggered. And even, for example, if even when you look at the skin, patients even can have eczema triggering up, and they go to a dermatologist who has no, probably wouldn't have an idea what's going on. But these patients, if you look at them, they'll be having multiple visits to multiple different specialists, and there's no real answer or a solution, or no diagnosis that can be formally made. Then we go and when we work as a multidisciplinary team, when we all meet together, then we are able to come up with a common problem that is probably something else that is going on, that is the underlying root cause for all these problems that a person faces. And again, now we are in a very unique, compared to decades and decades ago when all that started physically, now we are in a very unique situation where these kind of trauma and stresses do not have physical barriers anymore. There is digitalization, the world has globalized, and uh, the violences again don't have physical barriers. These happen through digital shaming, non-consensual image sharing, and a lot of subtle disrespectful comments on women's pictures, images, and all that. And it can really go very much unrecognized, as so as to what kind of impact these little subtle things that most of the times we ignore can create on a person. It can result in depression, it can increase your anxiety level, and most of the patients or persons who have had these online kind of threat, they have a lot of anxiety and hypervigilance for the rest of their lives, and they will have sleep disturbances. And once these are activated, most of the times they tend to be permanent as well. And we are again in a very fake and unrealistic situation, which is very, very easy to get drawn into this unrealistic expectations where there's so much pressure that is being put upon a person's appearance and her appearance, how they look. And there's a lot of body shaming that is again going around. This, at the end of the day, makes a person think that although it is not true, that something is going on, and they go and seek multiple consults with doctors, with other allied health physicians, seeking treatments and treatments after treatments, not knowing exactly what is going on. They can easily get into this spiral of something like body dysmorphic disorders and all that. But again, when a person is constantly being threatened or abused for appearance based things, they take it as an internal shape. And this again can affect a person's own internal well being and health, making them go into states like anorexia, malnutrition, and various other health related impacts as well. And again, as my previous speakers have mentioned, women, we always feel that when we bring it up, how is the society going to look at us? Are we going to lose our financial dependency? Many of the women even depend on these relationships to even sustain their immigration statuses. What's going to happen to my children? Is it going to affect my children's growth, education, their emotional well-being? And there's always the cultural stigma and years and years of hierarchy of generational trauma as well. My mother has gone through that, my grandmother has gone through that. So is it normal? Why am I making a big thing of it? We always think women are very strong, yeah, which is true. And we sometimes take it in a different way. Some women just take a lot of things to happen to them without speaking up, and we think that we are strong enough to handle all the battles and struggles at home. Our strength, we think that our strength is staying silent and just accepting all that is happening. And again, how does a healthcare system on a global level come together in number one, diagnosing, detecting the problem that's happening, and again, bring a solution to the problems that is happening? Again, the World Health Organization has come up with a lot of protocols and checklists for a woman, or for that matter, any person stepping into their care, to go through standard questions when they see that something is going on, when they kind of get some clues or cues that something is going on. We have all been trained to pick up subtle cues and clues. And this is mainly done by the primary care physicians, like the general practitioners, and sometimes even the obstetrician gynecologists. They are the experts at picking this up. And once that is picked up, there is a specific set of rules of pathways that is created so that a woman can come out and say things to us in a very safe space without having the fear of being ill-treated, or without any fear for that matter. And again, documentation comes to play a very important role in that matter, be it documentation of all the verbal cues as well as the presence of physical signs, symptoms, everything takes a very big role. And when I say healthcare, it's not just the doctors that play a role. It's always a multidisciplinary kind of team that comes together whenever we see trauma or abuse against women and children. This consists of doctors, nurses, and doctors specializing in women's health, children's health, as well as a social worker, medical social worker, who works very closely with the community. So together they form a very good a network that the patient or the person who has suffered the victim who has suffered a trauma can cling on to with 100% safety and security, as well as with confidence. And there are a lot of success stories of how healthcare interventions have supported the lives. Mr. Grover was talking about how law and intervention with law has helped a lot of women out there, but how from a healthcare point of view, how is that helping? In the UK, in the National Health System, NHS has come up with a program called IRIS, where the GPs are trained to get pick up these clues that the patients or the victims present with, and this has increased the number of referrals for these kind of patients for about 10 times. And even in Australia, I'm sure you all are very familiar with this, even the strengthening of the hospital response system has made early detection of these signs about 400% more possible. And even in Singapore, the place where I practiced recently, there's a lot of integration with the community based workers like medical social workers who don't expect these patients, or rather the victims, to come to them to with their complaints or symptoms, but rather go down to the community to see what is happening, if at all a suspicion arises. And again, the first step to becoming empowered and to prevent these from happening and to be a strong, independent woman, financial independence is almost equivalent to saying that protection is present. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but even a small amount, even a small form of financial independence always gives us a good amount of freedom to express our thoughts, values, views without any limitations and without any fears, actually. And previous speakers have put a very, very good point across, saying that it's not just the women who keep talking about women empowerment, it is the men at home who have to change this modeling, change the generational hierarchical things that have been passed down different generations, and bring about a model to change what is going on in the community. Again, a woman doesn't step out and come to the hospital straight away. The moment she steps out, the people out there are the society and the community that she mingles with. This community needs to give her the support and the encouragement, and as well as the confidence to bring about and report things in an easier way, without having any judgment, without she having to validate her feelings, and provide enough resources, be it in the form of both physical as well as psychological. That is the absolute first step to go about in this matter. And again, violence shuts down a brain's power, and it doesn't just do that, it shuts down the whole body's ecosystem and everything, and it can have a long-term results and complications. And when healthcare steps in to restore it, that is the first step that is being taken to restore all that and getting back to normalcy in a very safe and a very confident environment. And when we start protecting a woman's dignity, we are not just protecting her, we are protecting her family, her children, and multiple generations that are to follow after that. And in the current age and current day and age, it is not just enough if we celebrate Women's Day. It is not just enough if a woman um, uh, it's not just enough if she does what she wants to do, but it should also be made to a point that if she doesn't want to do a certain thing, she doesn't have to do it. I'm sure with all great leaders and people who are doing incredible work behind the scenes there, I'm sure we are getting there soon enough. And I'm really, really grateful and really honored to be sitting here in front of everyone. I feel like a very small dot, but from after listening to all of that, there's so many different incidences and so many different patients that I've come across in my career are, crossing my mind at the moment. I'm just starting to rethink what I could have done differently and what I can teach my juniors, my generation, the next generations to follow, and all that. It's a great place to be. I'm so thankful for having me. I'll pass the time back to the organizers to move it forward. Thank you again for the wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts.
Preethi ji,
Yes, Mr. Kaur.
amazing presentation. I love your swimming pool as well in the
Listeners.
background. Sorry, Kirtida. Sorry, Kirtida. One quick question.
Thank you
One
so
quick
much,
question.
Preethi
Yes,
ji. I
Mr.
think,
Kaur. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Sorry, one question.
Yes.
Any one of you are in Sydney by any chance, other than Shirin? Can you please tell me who's in Sydney? Okay. I also would like to say that there are many, many forums where I'm getting invited and I'm allowed to bring partners with me to speak about our passionate love affair with what we're doing. One opportunity is already twice I've been told to come is the Rotary President of Stratfield Council. They have a monthly get together with dinner. And Shirinji, you don't have to buy my coffee because dinner is free there for you. So could you please volunteer? And in the Navy, when we want to force people to join us, we say you and you volunteer. So Shirinji, you please volunteer to come with me. I will take you as a guest speaker to the next event with the Rotary, and the president and his wife. Now the wife is the president, incidentally. That's here where we are pushing the clear law. The wife has become the president. The husband is assistant president. They have invited me many times. I took uh, uh, Joe Cooper there, and I was the introducer. So I was asking her questions. It was a very interactive show. It's a small gathering of very august people, very mature individuals who are part of Rotary Society to do something great for the nation. So please, Shirin, if you, which I'm volunteering you, so I'm volunteering Shirin to come along with me as a guest speaker there. Please
It's a
use
privilege
your
to basically,
community.
get WICCI NRI uh, as an affiliation over there. I'll try my best to be there.
Yeah. So please, all of you as well, kindly look for opportunities where you can promote your own brethren, as we call it, your own breed of people, to take them there and share their views. Somebody said, "Oh, you have tremendous knowledge." I'm grateful to you to say that, Madam Kirtida, but it's not knowledge, it's not experience. It is what you've gone through. A man is a product of
Hmm.
his the exposure and the
True, true,
experience
true.
he
जी
gets.
यही है ना, because we all have a passion for topic, and we all work through community for many many years. And Preethi ji, I must say, commendable presentation, because medical profession intervention, it's create a difference for the community, and you narrated very very well. I also like when you say the financial independency for the woman. I think that is the one thing I always say to the women. I'm this domestic violence and many years, and working in the health sector, I know that a lot of women, when they are affected at end of their relation, the main constraint for them is the laws, and also is the financial. They don't have any financial independency. And I think as an Indian genes is the man who look after the house, look after the finance, and the woman look after the house. At the end of the day, you lose both of them. So I think you done it. Thank you so much, and big um, cloud for you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much for the kind words. And
We
again,
should
Um,
be
thanks.
now I
tapping
real for
into
the
her
next.
experience.
Yes, that's right. And Preethi ji, I really want to meet you when I visit to Chennai. Definitely want to meet you in person. You are an incredible human.
Absolutely.
The wealth of knowledge you have is amazing. All right. So
I'm
now
also
we
looking
are
forward
nearly
to
end of the session, and the last speaker for today is Shirin Lakhani, uh, who is also a joint secretary for WICCI NRI. Shirin Lakhani is a Sydney-based best-selling author and mentor. She inspires the woman to rise from pain to purpose. Recently appointed joint secretary WICCI NRI Council, she focuses on emotional resilience. A devoted mother, she reflects strength, compassion, and the power of the self-resilience. So over to you, Shirinji. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much, Kirtida, for the great introduction. I am humbled. Now, as everyone knows me as a host, I've hosted a lot of webinars in the past for WICCI NRI, and I would say, marking the year end, I took up this opportunity to be a speaker, and it was for such a great cause and such a great topic. And I was actually being asked by Achila ji formally to, close the session with this topic, with something which was very close to her heart. She wanted me to speak about cyber domestic violence, because we were actually thinking that, if someone from our speakers would bring this topic in front, there were quite a few who did that. But I think, I have got this opportunity to say something more. Please disregard my voice. I've got a bad sore throat, but I'm still trying my best. So let's start. So, good evening, respected Wiki members, leaders, and everyone who has joined us today, and my lovely audience who's listening to me. So, before I speak about this topic, I want to ask you something deeply, something personal. When was the last time you looked at a woman, truly looked, and wondered what she might be hiding behind her smile? Because behind the perfect selfies, behind the laughter, behind the calm voice, there are women living in fear, surviving in silence, praying for one safe moment. Cyber domestic is not always visible. It doesn't always show up as bruises. Sometimes it shows up as a woman who suddenly becomes silent, a friend who stops meeting you, a colleague who keeps apologizing to you when they should not, a mother who keeps on checking her phone every 2 minutes, a neighbor who all of a sudden tries and raises the volume of the TV so that you cannot hear what's exactly going on. These are not relationship problems. These are warning signs. These are cries for help. But today, in the world we live, violence has found a new hiding space behind the screens, inside your phones, inside the devices we trust the most. Ashlaji, can I ask you to share the second slide? Cyber domestic violence is silent, invisible, and dangerously underestimated. It doesn't leave bruises on the skin, but it leaves deep scars in the mind. It happens when a partner uses technology not to correct, but to control you. It looks like a woman's whose phone is tracked everywhere she goes, message notification she's terrified to open. A partner who demands password to build trust. Social media accounts monitored like a crime scene. A private photo used as a weapon. Location shared without consent. Banking apps checked. Every call questioned. Every friend doubted. Every move watched. In the past, abuses locked doors, but today they are locking digital boundaries. A woman cannot leave the house to escape violence. But how does she escape a phone that tracks this? A laptop that spies on her, a, a thread sent, a message, a photo that could destroy the file. Technology should empower women, not imprison. Do you guys agree with me? If bruises could be screenshots, maybe the world would finally understand the damage cyber abuse caused. Until then, it's on us to recognize the signs, speak louder, and protect those suffering silently behind glowing screens. Our world is evoking, but not every human is safe. We celebrate progress. We speak of equality. We talk about empowerment. But behind closed doors, a different reality still exists. The truth is painful. Millions of women across the world experience violence from someone they trust. Many live with fear every single day, and most never speak up, not because they don't want to, but because silence often feels safer than asking for help. Behind every statistic is a real woman, a woman who had dreams, ambitions, laughter, confidence, and somewhere along the way, fear slowly replaced all of them. No country is immune, no community is untouched. and no woman deserves to carry this burden alone. People often ask me, why doesn't she live? But today, I want to ask a different question. Why does he feel entitled to hurt her? Why does our system not protect her enough? A woman doesn't stay because she's weak. She stays because she's trying to survive. She stays because she fears losing her children, her safety, her financial stability. She stays because she has been told repeatedly she is nothing. Leaving isn't the solution if danger follows her out of the door or into her phone. What she needs is support, safety, someone to believe her. Help exists, hope exists, and healing is possible, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Support can come in many forms: a trusted friend, a neighbor who notices the sign, a colleague who comes enough to ask, a community that refuses to stay silent. You don't have to fix someone's situation to make a difference. Sometimes all it takes is one message, one conversation, one moment of kindness to remind a woman that she is not invisible, not alone, not powerless. And to anyone watching this today, watching me today, saying this, if you're surviving in silence, if you're carrying pain, nobody understands, please remember us. You deserve safety. You deserve respect. You deserve a life from out of the fear. There is a way out. There is a future waiting for you. And you are stronger than everything you have lived through. As I stand here today, not just as a woman, not just as an advocate, but as a joint secretary of WICCI NRI Australia, I want to leave you with this. We are not just an organization. We are not just a council. We are a force that protects, a force that uplifts, a force that refuses to let any woman slip through the cracks of silence and fear, whether that silence is inside her home or inside her phone. Because today, domestic violence does not end at the doorstep. I follow women into their inboxes, their social media, their private photos, their passwords, their locations, then digital footprints. Violence has gone online. And so most of our awareness, our vigilance, and our fight. Every woman suffering from this one truth. We are here. We, WICCI NRI, we are here. We see you. Even when the world does not. We hear you, even when your voice is hidden behind screen. And we stand with you both offline and online. To my fellow Wiki leaders, our influence is powerful, and I say it comes with responsibility. Let us use our positions to build a world where no woman is afraid to go home at night and no woman is afraid to open her photo in the morning or a phone in the morning. If change is going to happen, it will become here. It will begin with us in this room, in this council, in this webinar today. In every conversation we lead and every woman we uplift. So tonight, let us walk out with one unbiased promise. We will lead with courage, we will speak with compassion, and we will uplift every woman relentlessly until every woman feels safe, valued, and free in her home, in her community, and in her digital life. Thank you so much. And I think that's it from my side today. Thank you, Kirtida, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Achilaji, for believing in me, trusting in me as usual. Thank you, Vicky and NRI, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Back to you, Kirtida.
Shirinji, what a powerful presentation. Loved it. Together we rise. What a slogan. Everyone understand that we can make evolution in the community, and presentation really, really very nice. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
claps for you. It's
Thank
it's
you.
one of
Thank
the
you so much.
eye-opening for the digital ways how we can recognize domestic violence affected women and how can we support and help. With this, I'm going to decide and I'm over to Achla ji for vote of thanks. Thank you, Achla ji.
Thank you all for joining
Ji,
us
we
today
cannot.
in this. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I said, as a special
Yes, we
token
can
of
hear.
affection to the only man in this group, Shirin should sign a personal copy of her book and give me as a gift, you know.
I will certainly do that. It'll be my pleasure.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all for joining us today for no doubt a powerful session on respect, protect, empower, reclaiming women's dignity. I want to express my deepest gratitude to all our remarkable speakers. The session was started by Harman ma'am, who opened the session with their compassionate work supporting vulnerable families through her Harman Foundation. She mentioned a lot. The one thing which struck me most is her 24/7 domestic violence helpline and refugee services. It is really a big job. My heartful thanks, I mean, not only my, our whole forum, heartful thanks, and for her for joining us today. And her heartful speech truly set a tone of empathy and community responsibility. Thank you, Harman ma'am, for joining us today. Hope to see you soon in future as well for our upcoming event. Commander N.K. Groverji, not a cadet. Commander N.K. Groverji. Apologies before. I
No, no,
understand
no.
that,
It was great.
but yeah. So Commander N.K. Groverji, thank you so much for joining us. And you followed with a thought-provoking talk about educating men on respect and equality, which started at home itself. And we all women are sitting here and we keeps on doing a lot of work. Like last month we did a breast cancer awareness, and before that anything else, and now it's upcoming the next week something else, and that we keep on doing here something whatever best we can do. Like Shirin ji is here, and me and Kirtida ji, Anar ji, and Shaifali ji. And why we are able to do here, because we have someone at home who is pushing us, who is holding my hand and telling me, yes, you can do it, whatever there is, I'll take care. So that kind of support we have. That's why we have the courage of sitting here and speaking for the women who are struggling. So that is our main responsibility. So thank you so much for our husbands, our better half, who are literally helping us handling each and every in every situation. So your this point is, I really appreciate that, and your focus on changing mindset and promoting collaboration between men and women was both inspiring and necessary. Very special person, Dr. Preethi ji, who brought a medical perspective, which I've heard very less before. But today, thankfully, I have seen the presentation properly, sharing her dedication to compassionate care and community wellness through her specialized service and outreach program. She have mentioned many points which I personally don't know it before. And I really request her if she can share some of the point in written, or if she allow the presentation which we can upload in on our social media WICCI NRI. So I mean, many of the ladies, when they saw, they can actually that will create a more awareness. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sure,
Next, my own
absolutely.
yeah, thank you. And next, my own sister. Yeah, sorry. And thank you so much, Padmaja ji, for connecting with Preethi ji. I'm really
Thanks.
sorry. I was actually about to. Yeah. Next, my own sister, I don't know, small sister, bigger sister, Shirin ji, who spoke last, blending
I'm
her
younger
role.
than you.
I'm pleasure to be the elder one. Okay, Shrinji, my younger sister, blending role both as a speaker and a part of organizing too. Her inspiring story of resilience as a cancer survivor and her commitment to empowering women as a joint secretary of WICCI NRI Council added an immense value to our dialogue. Thank you so much. Special thank to Dr.
Thank you.
Anar Mehta ji. I know she is not able to join us today, but definitely she must be sending blessings to all of us. Very special, heartful thank to Kirtida ji, our session host, who led the discussion with exceptional warmth and professionalism. I remember in coming December, we are like completing 5 years of WICCI NRI Council. And before 4 years or before 3 years, Kirtida ji, you joined us as a speaker on domestic violence. I still have the poster with me. So thank you so much for giving your
Yes.
support. Apart from that, with over 30 years experience as an elite health professional and a strong advocate for women's health and well-being, she is herself a true expert on the subject. Something that deeply enriched our conversation. Her guidance made this session both meaningful and impactful. Also extend my sincere appreciation to the organizing team Shirin Lakhani ji and Shaifali Garg ji, General Secretary of WICCI NRI Council, whose dedication and hard work made this impactful event possible. Event were fully organized by WICCI NRI Council, association with SFF and SRISHTI Bharat Foundation. Finally, thanks to our audience for attention and engagement. And today, powerful conversation has and continuous action. Each speaker today has enriched us with the knowledge, courage, and inspiration, building a stronger fusion foundation for a change, for a future. As we close, let us carry forward the commitment to respect, protect, and empower every woman, knowing that is uplifting their dignity. We uplift humanity itself. Thank you all for presence, passion, and dedication. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Achlari.
Thank you.